Hi everybody, it's Thursday night. It's time to learn something new. My machines are really dirty, so it's time to clean the machines. So we're going to talk about different things, how to clean the different types of machines, because they are a little bit different. And we are also going to, do the, this one, which is the straight stitcher, which has a conventional bobbin case and tensioning system. We're also going to do the, we're going to clean, I already cleaned out my Destiny. And so I cleaned it thoroughly, and then when I thought, well, let me see what the other one looks like, which was the Elegante. That's what we're going to clean tonight because it's really dirty. So, and we'll touch on cleaning hoops because hoops get very dirty because we use the sprays. So we're going to cover how to clean things. A couple things you need to do is I have my little cleaning basket. You're going to need an old toothbrush, and you'll see why. It helps to have a good, strong flashlight. Don't need that. You're going to need a screwdriver. I like to have a package of these pledge things for cleaning the outside. You're going, there's the I have two toothbrushes in here. You're going to need some machine oil, but not all machines. Okay, not all machines are you going to oil. This is one of them that you do. And of course, some rubbing, plain old ordinary rubbing alcohol. The first thing you're going to do, in my case, is put everything away because I got junk everywhere. So here, let's take a look at this machine. We have this machine. So the first thing I'm going to do is clean all the mess from around it, okay? Because there's probably a lot of it. And I'm probably going to take the thread out. You should clean your machine with your power off. I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to risk my life by leaving the power on. And the reason, without proper lighting. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is remove my trusty hand needle threader, a spare pin cushion, my coffee cup full of stuff, pencils, pens, seam rippers, you name it. And usually, and then it helps to have a nice clean cloth. So usually the first thing I do is dust everything off. You could also use a vacuum cleaner, but I'm going to dust, I'll probably remove all the threads, put them on the windowsill, and just clean around, get some of the dust. I was working with minky fabric. I have got minky everywhere. That stuff it makes the cutest quilt. It really does. Cutest baby quilt, but oh my gosh, what a mess. Fluff everywhere, and I had a handheld vacuum cleaner. And you can see I've got glues and junk all over, so I'm going to start first on the surface. So I'm going to take, I always clean with plain, ordinary isopropyl alcohol. And I will just take a clean towel, a little corner of it. Or, these are what I also like to use, are these little cotton rounds that you use for makeup. But they're great for cleaning things. And this should get off all of the residue, oils, and junk from the surface of my machine and my cabinet. And boy, oh boy, look at that. Is that not messy? I was also dealing with a lot of pencils, marking things. So this stuff is everywhere. And it doesn't hurt to rub the surface of your machine with the alcohol. Never ever use solvents. No Windex, no 409, or any of that stuff. Okay, so this is one that does require oiling, and I do recommend I have a pinpoint oiler. You can order them. I like them online. This is the one for my long arm machine, but I can use it on anywhere. And my book says, so the first thing I'm going to do is clean it. Then I will oil it. Don't do it the other way around because you're just like spreading and gluing in lots and lots of dirt. So anyway, I'm going to remove the insert. And oh my goodness, look at all the lint down there. Oh, I'm embarrassed. But that's okay. This is an active studio. It's not a showroom. And I'm going to just clean up, use this little towel to dust on the inside in here. And it's got a lot of gunk in there. Wow. And there's pins. There's all kinds of things that have worked their way in there. Well, I'm just going to throw that away. Got a lot of lint and stuff in there. Okay. Alrighty, so I'm going to take the foot off, and for that I need my tool. I need a screwdriver. And I have this screwdriver. Let's just fit for this little screw. And remove that. I want to turn the hand, I'll usually, if you want to live safely, you remove the needle. That's just a safe thing. And besides, it's, if you don't remember the last time you changed your needle, it's time to change the needle. Bottom line. Okay, so I'm not going to put a new needle in yet. So the first thing I want to do is turn the hand wheel till the feed dogs are nice and up. And I'm just going to brush across them to get any lint out of there. Okay. I usually will take the needle plate off when I'm doing a light cleaning. Like every time, usually every other bobbin on this machine, I will clean out the bobbin case. It's hard to see. I don't know if you can see it. No, if I lift it, you can. Let me lift this up so you can see the end of it. I use books and everything to level because I use this cabinet for various machines. Okay. I can get that to show this way so you can see inside. Yeah, I use magazines too. Okay, right here, I'm going to take the bobbin case out. Okay. Okay, and I would clean it right inside here really good. Okay, and it was quite dirty. Is that I would take some oil, and take the oiler, because I haven't oiled this in a while. Once it's well, no, I'm not going to oil it just yet, because I don't want to oil it till I'm done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the bobbin case to give it a thorough cleaning. Okay. This is what they call an offset screwdriver, and I think I got this at the dollar store or Ace Hardware or something like that. Every woman should have one because these are always way too tight, especially once you've had the technician service your machine. They put it on with He-Man strength, and what I like about this screwdriver is I can put this in, and I can just hold it here, and then I can push as hard as I can, and it does help to get the screws out because you've got some leverage in this. See, this one's tight. There. Another screwdriver I really like that I also got, I think it was either Harbor Freight or Ace Hardware. Those are the two places I usually go, which is nice and round and small. If worse comes to, and also make sure you prepare a place to put the screws because I always end up losing them. Okay, when all else fails and you can't find a screwdriver, a dime works really well to get these things out. Okay, so I like this one best because it just comes out and you can give it a good grip. This one's held on by pressure, so I'm just going to hold it down while I remove the screw. Safely put the screw away and lift off the plate. And oh my goodness, it is dirty. Look at that. While you have this plate off, get some of that brush out, I want to inspect the needle plate right here. I'm looking right here. I want to make sure that there's no bad spots, and there are a couple of them. If you're not sure if you've got bad spots, take a Q-tip. If it pulls the hairs on the Q-tip, you've got a burr. Okay, this is what I use a lot to check. So anyway, that looks pretty good. It doesn't have any needle strikes. Sometimes if they're small, and yes, this one has got, see that right there? That's supposed to be there, I think. No, it doesn't. It needs to be brushed out. So I'm going to get some emery paper and just smooth that out a little bit. It's not really bothering anything. If I were doing free motion quilting and ruler work, that would cause a problem. But plain old straight stitching, they're pretty resilient. Bobbin case. When you have your bobbin case out, well, I just threw that bobbin on. Well, Lily's got a new bobbin then. Is that you're going to want to clean this out. And you want to use a brush to get most of it out. Just take a corner of a piece of paper. And this is the spring. Right here is the spring. I can't see that. Let's see, right here, there. See, there's the spring. So I'm going to put in some paper. Sometimes, here, let me just get a corner of it. A nice corner of it, and then slide it in. And that'll dig out any pieces. You can also take a small, thin pin and use it to clean out. So you need to get any pieces of lint out of there. So yeah, that's got a lot of lint in there. Whoa, look at all that lint. Whoa. I told you, minky fabric makes a mess. This almost looks like a serger, doesn't it? Wow. So cleaning the brush and taking it out. Check, again, you can take your toothbrush, clean out anything here. Okay. And I'm going to look for signs of wear. When I have this apart, I want to check to make sure that there's no threads caught anywhere. Sometimes it helps to have a good pair of tweezers with you. Okay, so you can take tweezers and dig out any pieces that you can't quite reach. And then I'm going to take another one of these cotton things. A little bit of alcohol. Don't use water. Water's going to rust your parts. Alcohol doesn't. I'm just going to clean inside. Get any extra little lint. If you have a vacuum cleaner, you can use a vacuum cleaner. Don't use canned air in machines. You're ending up pushing more dirt into the mechanism of the machine. If it needs a thorough cleaning to where you can't get to it, then it needs to be brought in for service. And I recommend that you should have your machine serviced at least, well, they say once a year. Don't let it go more than 2 years without being serviced, because oil is going to break down whether you use the machine or not. The more you don't use a machine, the faster that oil is going to break down. And then what happens is that the sticky oil, because it's old, is going to attract dirt and pollutants, and it's going to end up making a big, it's going to end up gumming things up. So you can end up, usually that is all I need to do for cleaning. Okay, so I am going to oil this, and on this machine, it has several spots. This hasn't been oiled in a while. I will do a bobbin, which when I'm doing the bobbin, lift this up towards you so you can see right here. See this little lip right here? I'm just going to place a drop of oil on the lip of that machine. That's it for that. Okay. This is a mechanical machine, and the book tells me that I have to oil it here. So I'll drop in 1 drop of oil there. Up here. Here. And over here. And over here. Okay. That's all you need to do. And I only do the whole machine maybe once a quarter or once every 6 months, or if it's making a lot of noise. So it's got several holes. There's like here, 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 and here. So those are the places that you oil the machine. So that's pretty much all I do for oiling. For cleaning, like I said, I will just take the alcohol and clean the outside of the machine and get any residue, glues, or anything off of it. Okay, and now we're ready to put, now, one place I do like to oil, and I should put in, I'll put the same needle back in, so I'm just going to put it in, I'll change it later. Another thing I like to do is lower that needle to its lowest position and inspect this needle bar right here. Let me see, let me get that out of the way, and this is going to be the same on any machine. When you're cleaning, you need to inspect. Okay, you're going to inspect this needle bar, and you're going to look for darkened spots, and you'll see they'll be dark on your fingers. And this is, it doesn't hurt this. First of all, I'm going to clean it off. Where did my cotton swab go? Here it is. No, well, just wipe it and clean it a little bit. See, this one's not too bad. It's been this is where, if you don't bring your machine in for routine servicing, this is a part that can really go bad, is the needle bar. It goes up and down. It's got a lot of contact points, and you can't get into the inner part of this machine over here, but it needs to be oiled. So this is why, even with routine maintenance, I saw this on several sites and some training that I took with machine repair. So I'm going to put oil on a Q-tip. Not saturated, just a little bit of oil, okay? And while it's in its lowest position, I'm going to rub this down and just give it a light lubrication. And it'll work, and especially at the top. And you're going to do the same thing with the presser foot lever. See how that goes up and down while it's in its lowest position? I am going to also just take that Q-tip and lubricate that bar a little bit. I don't want it dripping oil. I just want it lightly lubricated. And that's going to make a big difference in how long these shafts will last. Okay? Okay, it's now ready to put the thing together. Back together. So, just going to put that needle up. Raise the presser foot. And this just fits. Come on, you have to, there, smush it down on this particular one. Put these in a little bit. And get the other one. Sorry, can't let go. Okay, so I've pushed this in, and now I will tighten it, and I'm going to use the dime to tighten. Oh, not this one. Okay, this one I need this to tighten it. This one's got very skinny slots. Okay, now before I put the foot back, I want to inspect this. It is okay to have scratches. It is not okay to see brass showing through. And it's not okay if you have scratches on one side and nothing on the other. The wear should be even. This is a replaceable part, so if we as quilters tend to sew without fabric underneath. We'll start it without, and that's what causes these little scratches. Eventually those will turn into gouges. But I've had this machine maybe 10, 12 years. So far, no problems. I haven't had any problems. And this is my favorite sewing machine for sewing stuff, you know, like regular piecing and sewing things that are straight. And of course, you always want to tighten things good. Tighten the needle. Just tighten the needle also. Okay, I would put the bobbin up. Yeah, here's a bobbin. Okay, again, you want to check that your bobbin case is smooth. These edges over here should be good. Same thing with that hook that's on the underneath. That should all be good. Okay, and now I'm going to just thread this bobbin, put it in the machine, put things back where it belongs, and then I'll put the case back on. Now what you can do is take pledge when you're all done and you got everything clean, nice. I like these things, which are the pledge wipes that has the pledge, the polish in the cloth. You don't ever want to use the spray, but if you do have the spray, put it on a clean cloth. Don't spray the machine. Not a good thing to do. Okay, and then just wipe down the bed of your machine. This'll and your cabinet. And it'll make things nice and slick. Good. Okay. Let's go on over to the Destiny. I want to show you one thing. I want to show you something that I learned. We were always taught to clip your thread and pull it through. But if it gets stuck here, you know, sometimes your thread frays and it gets stuck in here and you can't get it out for nothing, what you can do is you can reverse thread it. So you come from here, take it out of here, take it out of this, then just go opposite. When you feel resistance, pull it out. Okay, I don't feel any resistance, and look, it comes right out. Because when it jams, it usually jams in here, so if you can bypass this, you can usually pull it out. And then sometimes if you can't, then it helps to go to the dollar store and get dental tools. Here we go, get one of these. Because you can really get this inside to pull any thread that's stuck. And it helps to have a nice flashlight to do that. But these are invaluable. This has been invaluable. It also came with a little cheap mirror that helps too, that I use on the long arm because I don't like climbing underneath the machine. Okay. All right, let's go on to this machine and let's clean this one. This is my Elegante. This thing is really dirty. This hasn't been cleaned in a very, very long time. Okay. Again, you'd want to cut the power off or at least hit this little button right here. It looks, you'll see, look like a foot. If I hit that, what everything is grayed out and you can't, the needle can't come up and down on your hand. A piece of batting will get any dust. I'm going to take the foot off. This one, I like this screwdriver. We have them at the store and they work on a lot of things. So this is going to take the foot off again. Here's one where I would take I want to check the bottom. Everything looks good there, so it's not worn. That's a good thing. Okay, now this screen right here, you don't want to use Windex on it. Usually just using a soft cloth. I have a microfiber, but you're just going to wipe it. Don't use detergents. If it gets gummy, like you got a grandchild with grape jelly all over his fingers and he touches everything, you can use alcohol or lens cleaner. Anything, lenses for your glasses or laptop electronics cleaner, you can clean it with that. Don't use Windex or 409 or any of those chemicals on there. But that, usually this is all, you know, just having a microfiber cloth is usually all you need to wipe any fingerprints off. And I recommend you do that periodically on all the machines. Okay, again, the same thing. I'm going to lower this needle bar just like before and check for signs of wear, and I don't see any, but I'm going to take that oil again and I'm just going to oil this top of this needle bar because it goes up and down a lot. Just put some oil on it and just wipe it. You're usually mostly cleaning any type. Oh my goodness, it is dirty. Yep, this needed that badly. Because what happens is that dirt gets in there and it tears up the needle bar. So see how dirty that is? That means that metal's touching metal. Not a good thing. This machine is, oh God, approaching 16 years old, 15 years. And I do love this machine. I always have. I love the threading on it. Some people hated it. I've always loved the threading on it. Okay, it's a Workhorse. Okay, so it's a great machine. Okay, again, the same thing. I'm going to raise those feed dogs up. Well, this one I can hardly get to the feed dogs, so I'm going to open the tray and I'm going to pull this back. And usually the machines will give you a little nasty comment that, hey, your needle plate is open. Yeah, I know. I don't care. Okay, again, I'm going to wipe it off. Any lint from it here. And I'm going to take the bobbin case out, the bobbin and the bobbin case, and I am going to inspect this bobbin case. Okay, get some better light here on this. Okay, this is the one for embroidery. I should have been using the other one. I was just sewing on it. And I want to, where'd that toothbrush go? Again, I just want to brush this out a little bit. This little fuzzy thing is supposed to be there. It is what deals with the scissor. This fuzzy part, don't take that out. It's supposed to be there. Clean it out. Try not to blow into it like I just did. That's a bad thing to do. You have corrosive droplets in your breath, and you don't want to do that. So you want to inspect to make sure that there are no cuts or divots or needle strikes or holes. Check here, check underneath, look around the edge, and what is that? There's one here. Oh goodness. Okay. And you can, sometimes I can rub it out with the end of the toothbrush. I take this. Sometimes I can just push that plastic back smooth. Yeah, I just did. See, I don't usually try to, I don't like to put too much emery board, but there's a part sticking out. There's a needle strike, so I'm just pushing that plastic back even. Check especially around here, because if this, you've got it uneven right here, that bobbin's not going to turn correctly. Oh my, look at all this dirt. You want to see? It's scary. Look at all that mess in there. Oh my goodness. Look at that mess. Okay. Need the brush. So the first thing I'm going to do is brush this mess out. And ew, yucky. It is bad. Look at all that. And there's more. Okay. In the trash. Okay, I'm going to take this plate off. Like I said, I don't normally clean off the plate. I will take the other end of that Q-tip, the one that doesn't have the oil, and clean it. I can see dirt, just plain like sticky something there. Like from the fusibles and the glues and the stuff that's in here. I can just see. Look at all that dirt coming up there. Alrighty. Then I'm going to take the plate off. So here's one screw. Okay, come on, I didn't put it on there tight. And again, usually what I do, oh, what I forgot to tell you, to clean out this bobbin, your spring is in here, right? I don't know if you can see it very well. Right here. Right in there. So I'm going to take a piece of paper and then insert it. I can get that in there. Business card works real well too. There. See, I'm just taking that and just putting that paper in there to get any pieces of lint stuck in there. Alright, and then usually I'll take this, put the screw in it, because I will lose these things. There it is yelling at me. So like, stupid, I said turn it off. It says turn off the power and replace the needle plate. That's what it's telling me. I'm going to ignore it. It's hard to work around the camera. There we go. Now you can start again. I'm going to take this and I'm going to clean the ends of it off. Any lint. I'm going to inspect this also. So if I take the Q-tip, and I didn't bring the clean one over here. There goes the screwdriver. And I take this, if I feel it pulling the fibers, then you know you've got a problem. Okay. And I see thread caught. There, the scissor is right here. And so I need those tweezers to pull out that piece of thread caught in there. There. There's thread caught in there, and now I'm going to take the brush and clean a little more thoroughly. Oh my. It's got a lot of dirt in there. Now, Justin has seen worse. If he was on, boy, he's got some stories of how some of these machines are so packed up with lint. He wonders how they haven't caught on fire. Okay. And this is, don't use canned air. Again, I can't repeat that enough. Okay, I'm going to take the toothbrush, clean the feed dogs really well. And I'm going to put some oil on that Q-tip just to get some of this lint up out of here. Just use, it is really dirty. Okay, other places that you want to check. Goodness. Feels sandy in there. I think I need to bring this in for Justin to do his magic. It hasn't been in for a long time. It's about 2 years. Actually, I had most of them serviced just before the truck hit the house, and that was a little over a year ago, so I'm still good. Okay, and the Destiny's been serviced. Okay, and again, I'd probably use a vacuum cleaner to get this out really good, but it would be really loud. I'll do that later. Okay, now, other places you want to check. Here's your feed dogs. Right here. They're screwed in right there and there. You want to make sure there's no thread hanging out from them, because then that would cause this to be off at a tilt, and it would wear unevenly. Okay, so now we're ready to put it back together. You have to put this back together in the opposite order of how you took it apart. So the first thing I took out was the bobbin, then it was the bobbin case, then it was the blue. No, it was the gray thing was first, then the bobbin case, and then the needle plate. So needle plate's got to go back first. Some needle plates fit together better than others. This one looks like it doesn't fit anymore because it's just wobbly all over the place. And beating on it makes the machine mad. So I have to put this back first, otherwise the machine will not work. Come on, there we go. Nope. These machines are smarter than we are. I get enough argument from Lily. I don't need it for my machine. And since I dropped the screwdriver on the floor, I'll use the dime, which works just as well. Okay, and then, now this goes back that most machines, this one has worn out, that there was a little white dot here. There was a little white triangle that was right here. They've worn out. So, you want to get this into the correct position on your hand wheel, which is this thing right here. Wait a minute, move that up. This right here. There is a line, or just a piece of line that you know, here it is. You see that line? You want this straight up top. And on this machine, there's a seam that shows you where the top is. You line that up. That sets this into the correct position. So, again, you would line up the 2 dots, which are non-existent now. And this just drops in. It sits on a ring like this. You know, it just sits on there. And it's going to have a little bit of play. You know you have it right if you turn that hand wheel towards you. And you can see this turn, but it doesn't wobble. If it wobbles, you know it's not in right. And then this snaps back into place. You take the bobbin case off and put in your bobbin. Okay, and you're ready to sew. Okay, again, I think I told you that you're going to oil both the needle bar. So this would come down to its lowest position, just like I did before, and just lubricate, especially at the top. And then turn it a few times. And the same thing with the presser foot. Push it down, and just wipe it with an oily Q-tip. And then you're done. Another place you want to watch is up here at the bobbin case. If you don't wind the bobbin correctly, let me move my strawberry. Thank you, see Lillian, and put it up here. This was a gift from Lillian, and I love it. So if your bobbin goes up underneath, you do, and then all your threads under here, you may want to dig it out, but you don't have to. You just simply lift it up out of place, and now you can get any thread that have built up underneath there. That can happen. And then it just snaps back into place. You just rotate it until it's there. Here, I'll show you what I did. Again, I just put it down, held the top, and rotated this until it fell down. So, there. Now it fell into place. Now it's locked into place. Then I would take my pledge, my pledge sheet, and wipe everything down, clean it really good, and this machine is done and ready to go. Okay, so now the next thing we want to talk about is cleaning the hoops. This one is pretty dirty. See how dirty that is? That looks terrible. I've seen worse, believe me. When we get trade-ins, sometimes we have to soup these things. What you do not want to use is do not use acetone or fingernail polish remover to clean these hoops. People have done that, and what it does is it eats away at the plastics. You can use Goo Gone, but I don't like to use Goo Gone. It leaves it oily, and it leaves the hoops a little oily and too slick, and my fabric comes out of it too easily. So I'm just putting a little bit of alcohol on here, and this might take some soaking and some elbow grease. Usually if I soak it for a little bit, this will come out. And yeah, usually I'll soak it first. So we have been known to take a pie plate and just put alcohol in the pie plate and let them soak for a little while. Now Goo Gone is going to be faster if you have a lot of build up, and I don't have any Goo Gone around. It's probably in the basement somewhere, but Terry uses it and I don't too much. But what you can do is if you use the Goo Gone to clean your hoops, then after they're clean, then take alcohol and get any of that oily residue off. And see, this is coming off. You just have to have a little patience. And just clean them off. Little by little, especially on the back and on the sides, because we'll get a lot of gunk on them. There have been known that we just soak them. I don't use too many sprays, so mine aren't too bad. And see, like this one's almost done. See this little section right here? I got it pretty much already clean. And it's just alcohol. That's all I've used on it. And I go through a lot of alcohol. I clean a lot of things with the alcohol. Again, you can clean your countertop. You can clean the cabinets. Gook on there. Gooky stuff. Glues, because I end up washing mine a lot because, I use a lot of the Elmer's school glue. And then Elmer's school glue gets everywhere. And tends to coat my cabinet. And this probably needs a little bit. I'll probably have to soak this one a little bit right in here, this side. But that's all there is. And then, yeah. You also want to clean the part where it goes into the machine once in a while too, because it can get some pollution buildup on there. And especially if you find that your hoops are hard to put into the machine, it could just have some pollution, some dirt, and just enough to gum it up. So clean this end once in a while. It won't hurt it. Just use a little alcohol and clean any pollution off of here. And that should fit a lot better in your machine. A clean machine is a happy machine. And if the machine's happy, I'm happy. Machine's not happy and not working, yeah, I go from 0 to you know what in 30 seconds. And it's always the machine's fault. It's never my fault. If you have any questions, you can always email me at waltzquilt. That's WALTZQUILT@yahoo.com. So, until next week, have a great time and happy sewing. Bye-bye.